So it's been a weird couple of years, but it's also been a kind of cool couple of years because there's obviously been a lot that's happened over the last few years. It's definitely been an informative couple of years, definitely learning experiences along the way. There's been a lot to happen the last couple of years, that's for sure. I graduated this year, which is kind of bizarre to think that happened this year. I hit 100 subscribers last year, and this year I hit 200. I shaved my head. It's been wacky. Almost too wacky, because I can't keep half of it straight. Weird shit, man. Weird shit. I've been doing YouTube for nearly 8 years now, and a lot of people would have given up by now, but I clearly haven't. There was one time I thought about it though. That was back in 2018, the end of 2018, when my depression was at its all-time high, and I was kind of aimless and lost that whole year after the channel had gotten deleted. And I was sitting at my desk one day, and I was just taking a break from YouTube for the month of December. I uploaded only a handful of videos, which was weird at the time because I was uploading daily at the time, and I thought about it. I was like, it's kind of nice to come home from school and not have to work on videos. What if it was like this all the time? And I think about that now, and that scares me. That some thought like that can come into my head at any time, and I could throw away the thing I love. One bad day, one off day, I could throw this all away. Luckily, that day, when I had contemplated it, the following day I thought about what I had thought, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? I'd never quit. Now I'm glad I didn't. Have I had some hardships over my 8 years? Yes. It was tough to go through those things, but I'm glad I did, because now, eventually, if and when my big break comes, I'll appreciate it more. I will have put in the work, put in the hours. And whenever that day comes, where I can say that YouTube is my career, that'll be a cool day. Loss sucks, especially when it piles on top of each other. When the boys left, a family friend had passed away that same week, and the two made the both harder. It was a hell of a couple weeks, but with anything, any loss, you'll get through it. Things won't necessarily get better. They'll get easier to deal with. And I feel like that's what I've done with the boys leaving. Do I wish that I could call Bobby and Jacob right now and have them come over? Yeah. But over time, you learn to cope with it. And you realize the time you get to spend with each other, while limited, still exists, just not in the form that it was. Though you may want it to exist in that form. You may not ever go back to that. But whenever you regroup, the magic will more than likely still be there. So it's currently December 4th, which means it's about 2 weeks until Christmas break starts. And that means 2 weeks till I get to see my best friend again. I haven't seen Jacob since June. That's really weird. It'll be really nice to see him, obviously. We started MMS together back in the summer of 2017, and it helped me take my mind off the shit I was going through at the time, which was the channel getting deleted. And I've told him this. I just don't know to what extent he understands what he has done for me. I love him for that. If it weren't for us starting MMS when we did, there's a fairly good chance we may not have continued. And that's scary to think about. But luckily, I had those guys at that time and still do. And they're able to push me forward in doing the things I love. A lot of the lessons I've learned over the last 5 years has been to not dwell on the past, while also savor what's happening in the moment. And I'm really glad that I learned that lesson back then for this year, because back in August/May/June, it really came in handy over the summer, because I was able to savor every last moment with the boys. I was able to appreciate it and be in the moment, and I'm now able to look back at those times and be like, that was fun. And thinking about the last boys' night me, Jacob, and Bobby all had before Jacob went off to the Air Guard and Bobby left for college. And I'm able to look back at that and be like, that was a great night. One of the funnest nights we've had in a long time, and if not one of the funnest nights we've had ever. But like I was saying, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to not worry about the past. The past is in the past. Don't really worry about the future, because that's in the future. All we have is the present. So, I figured I may as well talk about how I'm doing right now. Right now, I am probably the happiest I've ever been, because I have a great support system. I love what I'm doing with videos. Things are starting to look up. I'm hanging out with my friends, oddly more than ever, and I love it. I love it. That really helps, being able to see Bobby damn near every weekend and hang out and do something. And even if it's just talking on the phone, when he's driving home to college. Even if it's just that, it's still a highlight of my week. Is Sunday night around 10 o'clock, I'll usually get a phone call from Bobby, and I'll hear the background noise of the car, and I'll know he's driving, and I'm like, sweet, we get to talk for about an hour. And definitely one of the highlights of my week. I'm doing really good right now, and I'm happy about that. Obviously, I'm not mad that I'm doing good. I'm happy that I'm doing good. I'm in one of the best mental spaces right now, which is odd because I didn't think that was gonna happen. Once all the boys left, I thought, well, I'll see him every once in a while. I didn't think I'd be seeing him as often as I do, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I get to see the boys as often as I do, get to talk to them as much as I do, and I'm really grateful for that. I have the best group of friends in the world, and they support me in everything I do, every little venture I want to go on, and I love them for that. So, if any of the boys are watching this, I want to say thank you. I don't think I say it enough. But yeah, I'm doing pretty damn good.
All we have is now, so just let it go. When your numbers call